When I had social media, I was believing this notion that the more followers I had, the more friends I had. But the reality is I was feeling more lonely than ever, feeling more rejected than ever. Um, I saw a memory pop up on my phone of a story that I posted when I was in ninth grade, and I was asking people if they wanted to go to a football game with me, and no one responded. So I ended up not going, and ended up posting like, "Oh, I have no friends, ha ha ha." But like I look back on that now and kind of giggle, but in the moment that felt so real because it's like your entire world rejected you and no one wanted to hang out with you. Um, but when I got off of social media, it forced people to actually be my friends. And very quickly, I found who were my real friends and who are not my real friends. And my social life began to grow. And yes, you still struggle with rejection and you feel left out because you might not know the up to date memes or what people are looking at on their phone. But the reality is when people want to be friends with you, they're going to value the fact that you value them. Um, so face-to-face communication, people are going to go to you and realize you're a safe place. They don't have to numb out on their screen when they're with you because you listen and you understand and you have good connection. So initially it might be a little bit scary getting off of social media or getting off of your phone, but give it a little bit of time and you'll find that your friends are actually closer than ever and you have better connections with the people around you.
When I was addicted to my device, there was a lot of tension between my parents and I, especially my mom, because I was with her more during the day, and I always wanted to argue with her about everything, mostly because I was upset because I wasn't on my screen and I had to, interact. There was a lot of tension just regarding rules and all this stuff. I just thought they were my enemy all times, everything they did. And it created a really big rift, especially between my mom and I, and something that I would never want to feel again.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that. When I had social media, um, my relationship with my parents were not great because I found myself kind of numbing out on my phone and not wanting to interact. I would sit down at family dinner, which phones were not required or not allowed at the dinner table, but I would find myself eating super fast so I can go back to my social media. And I also found tension between me and my brother. My brother had TikTok, I had Instagram, and so we're getting fed two very different algorithms. And so there was a lot of yelling and anger and you don't know what you believe and like things that broke our family apart. And so once that was taken away, all of a sudden we kind of started to know how to talk to each other again. And we started to laugh as a family together and we started to bond and watch movies together. And it was like we enjoyed being in each other's presence, um, compared to a couple months before where I couldn't stand being in the same room as my family. I just wanted to be out because they didn't understand me. They didn't understand what I believe and who I was watching on Instagram and what my friends said about it. Like they just didn't understand. But once that was taken away, I realized, oh, they've lived some life. My mom actually knows what she's talking about. My dad actually has a clue about life, and uh, it was healing. And now I have a great relationship with my mom and my dad, and it's very rewarding to see that it's not too far gone, and you can take back these relationships, and it doesn't have to be a strain thing because it's not a normal strain. It's just the phone. It's just the iPad. It's just the device. And once you take that away, you realize the connection's always been there. You just weren't nurturing it well.